Hola, capítulo 9, Paso dos la ropa, parte dos, part 2. This video is part 2 of the video you previously watched, which covered clothing vocabulary and the verb llevar in the present and preterite tenses. These notes should be taken on page 10. Para describir, to describe in terms of clothing. The first word of this section on page 10 is the word algo, which means something. All the other words that you see in this section will cover different ways to describe clothing. De algodón, made of cotton. For example, you could say, La camiseta es de algodón. The t-shirt is made of cotton. One thing you should note is that the word algodón is masculine, and it would use the article el if you were using it by itself. This will be very important to know when it comes to using these words along with colors. De lana, made of wool. You could say, El suéter es de lana. The sweater is made of wool. Please note that the word lana is feminine and singular. De cuadros, plaid or checkered. For example, la camiseta es de cuadros. The t-shirt is plaid. Please note that the word cuadros is masculine and plural. De rayas, striped. You could say la corbata es de rayas. The tie is striped. Please note that the word rayas is feminine and plural. De cuero, made of leather. For example, I could say, las botas son de cuero. The boots are made of leather. Please note that the word cuero is masculine and singular. De seda, made of silk. You could say, la blusa es de seda. The blouse is made of silk. Please note that the word seda is feminine and singular. Here are some additional adjectives that are used to describe clothing. Formal y informal. Por ejemplo, el vestido es formal, pero la sudadera es muy informal. The dress is formal, but the sweatshirt is very informal. Cómodo and incómodo. La sudadera es muy cómoda, pero los tacones son muy incómodos. For example, you could say the sweatshirt is very comfortable, but the high heels are very uncomfortable. Barato and caro. Las chancletas son baratas. El traje es caro. The flip-flops are cheap. The suit is expensive. Remember that since these are adjectives, they are going to agree in gender and number with the word that they're describing. Other ways to describe clothing is with colors, the colors that you learned in Spanish 1. Please note that there is one additional color you did not learn before, which is the word pardo. Pardo is another way to say brown. The second portion of our grammar for this unit is comparing items, specifically clothing, para comparar, to compare. We're going to learn how to make comparison statements. The first one using the phrase más blank que, more than. You could say, los pantalones azules son más grandes que los pantalones blancos. The blue pants are bigger than the white pants. Please note that in this example, the word grandes, the adjective, agrees with gender and number of the first item mentioned. So in this case, it's agreeing with los pantalones azules. Menos que is the expression for less than. Your example sentence, los calcetines de rayas son menos bonitos que los pantalones azules. The striped socks are less pretty than the blue pants. Sorry, that's supposed to be socks, calcetines. So, in making that edit, once again, notice that the word bonitos is agreeing with the word calcetines. Tan blank como, as. Los aretes son tan caros como el collar. The earrings are as expensive as the necklace. So when you're comparing things as equals, you're going to be using tan and como. Again, the adjective caro is agreeing with the word aretes, the first item mentioned in the sentence. Para comparar, additional phrases. Mismo equals same. Son del mismo precio means they are the same price. Additional frases. ¿Qué vas a llevar? Or ¿qué ropa vas a llevar tú? What are you going to wear? ¿No tienes algo más formal? You don't have something more formal? Lo de siempre, the same as always. Prefiero llevar ropa cómoda. I prefer to wear comfortable clothing. Some phrases that we'll use when talking about describing clothing with our materials as well as patterns. El suéter es de lana. The sweater is made of wool. Este is used to say it is made from or described as with a pattern or material. When the item is plural, you would use son de. They are made of. In the example, son de cuero tus botas? Are your boots made of leather? So again, you can use this in a statement as well as in a question. This is the end of your notes for Capítulo 9, Paso 2. We'll continue and do some practice as a class.